By 1837, the Long Island Railroad was running out to Hicksville, and in 1909 a new station was erected. But as the community continued to grow, not many things survived over the next 100 years, but there are a few. The old Hicksville Town Hall and Courthouse was built in 1895 and served as Nassau's 4th District Court until 1967. Today, it is Hicksville's Gregory Museum and an Earth Science Center. This building on Broadway and East Marie Street was the Sportsman's Hotel in the 1880s. Later, it became a wicker furniture store, and today, Cinerama has taken up occupancy. The Broadway Hotel was built around 1900 at the corner of Broadway and East Cherry Street. Subsequently, it became Schwartz's Furniture Store, Phillips Silk Flower Store, and today, Beads and Stitches. In this picture, taken around 1910, looking north on Broadway, we see the familiar spire of St. Ignatius Loyola Church. Today we can still see the steeple, but the buildings along Broadway have changed. Looking south on Broadway, we see a clothing store on the corner of East Marie Street, where today the same building features the House of Donuts. And further down Broadway, just south of Old Country Road, a congregation was forming by a group of Lutheran parishioners who wanted to conduct services in English instead of in their traditional German language.
Found it. The cornerstone for when they laid the original foundation of the lower level church in 1910. Later on they constructed the upper section in 1949, and then later still they constructed the lower level lobby with the entrance doors on both the parking lot side and the Broadway side. Let's go in and meet the people of St. Stephen's.
I'm here tonight with Pastor Anderson, who's the pastor at Faith Lutheran Church in Syosset, a nearby community to Hicksville. You have a deeper history with St. Stephen's. I know you were here quite a while ago. Can you tell us about that?
1976. The reason I was ordained was because St. Stephen called me as the assistant pastor. Without a call from a congregation, the LCA, which I was in at that time, did not ordain. And so this church is very special to me. It's the reason I got the call, became a pastor. It's been 33 years. Imagine that.
Wow.
Which means, as I said today, I've been part of your life, a third of your congregation's history.
Right.
Which is shocking to me.
And how long were you here at St. Stephen's?
18 months.
Okay.
It was an assistantship.
But do you know of any physical objects that might be in the church now that was there 100 years ago?
One guess would be the bell, which rings out to call the community to prayer.
Okay.
Whether they join us physically here or not, at least emotionally, they can join with us at the sound of the bell.
Right.
And there are other times in the life of the church where that sound is heard, and I think that's meaningful. I believe that goes quite a way back.
Pastor Anderson gave us a great clue. Maybe the bell is 100 years old. Let's go inside in that bell tower and check it out. I have some people in there who are going to help us.
The bell was cast by the Meanly Bell Company of Troy, New York. I found a little bit of history about the Bell Company. It says that the famous Columbian Liberty Bell, which was on exhibit at the World's Fair in Chicago of 1893 and is now in the custody of the city of Philadelphia, was cast by the Bell Foundry of the Meanly Bell Company on Thursday, June 23rd, 1893. Their bell weighs 13,000 pounds and consists of copper, tin, some kind of bell material, 200 pounds of pennies, and some silver and gold, and a piece of the famous Liberty Bell of Philadelphia.
Adam, can you read what's on the bell?
Oh, sure. It says, presented by Joseph Funfgeld and family to the Evangelical Lutheran Church of St. Stephen, Hicksville, Long Island. Organized May 18th, 1910, Advent 1910. And around the base it says, to live in hearts we leave behind is not to die.
There are a few other details about the bell that Rudy pointed out to me that I wanted to pass along to you. First of all, there are multiple clappers. There's the one in the center here, and this is what we use every Sunday to tell us when service is about to start. We ring that clapper. Then there's this one on the side, which is now not in use. There's no string hanging from the end, but that was used to ring the bell on special occasions. Then there are these dampers in here. They're used to prevent the bell from ringing if the wind blows, so it stops the clapper from hitting the side of the bell. And you might have noticed when Adam read the inscription, it was on the far side of the bell away from the door. And Rudy surmises this might be because the bell was originally in a different tower on the other side of the church. And when they built this tower and put the bell in place, the inscription was probably just placed the wrong way.
Hi, I'm Pastor Frank Nelson, as some of you may well remember. It was my privilege to serve St. Stephen's as pastor for, I guess it was 22 years. I came to you in 1985 as a young pastor with just a short time of experience somewhere else. And St. Stephen's congregation nurtured me and helped me grow in the role to which God has called me in this life. And I give credit to St. Stephen's for the patience and for the caring of affirming what was good in my ministry, correcting me with gentleness when I needed that, and helping me grow over the course of the long years that I spent with you. I'm thankful for sharing those years. I'm thankful for the relationship that we built and for the work that we did together to God's glory. It's my privilege last January to come back to be your guest preacher at one of the kickoff events for your centennial year. And it was a bittersweet time, a time of having been away from you for several years, and recognizing certain people without any difficulty. The young people threw me for a loop because a couple of years makes a big difference. I send you my very best during this centennial celebration. I rejoice with you at the long history of faithfulness of St. Stephen's Church. The many saints, the ordinary saints, the people that so many of us remember with thanksgiving, who have shared discipleship as part of that congregation, who now rest in the Lord, as I give thanks for those of you who still praise God and still serve God through the ministry of St. Stephen's Church. May God bless you mightily during this centennial year, and may God continue to bless the ministry that you offer up in His service.
I'm Jimmy Ann, and I'm the head of the Altar Guild, or Altar Committee, and we are a group of ladies who take care of the altar and all that goes on with the dressings in this sanctuary and chancel. If you notice, we have green on the altar, green hanging in the hangings. That is because we're in the Pentecost season. We take care of the linens, which are what you see on the altar, and any decorating with the flowers, plants, we also do that. We have about 13, 14 of us. We take turns. Each month we have 4 ladies who will volunteer, and they work in pairs. Weddings, we are involved in preparing for a wedding, preparing for funerals. It's something that we all enjoy doing.
Hi, this is the Pastor's Lounge, and this was the original worship space of the Church of St. Stephen's. I'm down here today because I got an anonymous tip that from the first wedding service at St. Stephen's, there was a piece of wedding cake left over, and they put it in the freezer for safekeeping, and it's been here for 100 years. We're going to check that out and see if it's true. I asked Jim Treutlinger to meet me here. He's the head of the property committee, and together we're going to see if this rumor is actually true. Jim.
Yes. Hello, Rick.
Hi. Did you find any cake in that freezer?
No.
No. All right. Thanks anyway.
I'm Jim Treutlinger. I'm the committee chairman of the property committee. I get the guys to do what needs to be done to maintain our property. I'd like to tell you something about the men that are on the property committee. Rudy Eberhardt is one of them, and he's kind of a high-tech sort of a guy, and he's helped out in numerous other things. Then we have Herb Waller, and he is the electrical specialist. And we have Frank Schmoller, who is very, very good at high-tech sort of stuff. Then we have Eugene Ebensberger. Eugene is a very excellent woodworker and extremely knowledgeable of general maintenance issues. Bill Manthe. Bill was a machinist, and he's very handy with tools. Uwe Riggers is the property liaison to council, and he gets many of our roofers, electricians, and outside people that we have to pay for. His wife, Iona Riggers, she's the flower lady. We all have appreciated the beauty that she brings to our church. Bill Doherty is our custodian. He also does this for a living. Along with Rudy Eberhardt, they picked up all the old floor and laid new floor in the social hall.
All right.
And I thank you for this opportunity to brag about the members of the property committee. Thank you.
Hello. The dream of Pastor Roland Perez was to begin a nursery school. It became a reality in 1976 and enjoy a wonderful reputation within the community and our school district as well. Our mission is to provide caring Christian instruction to young children in a healthy, safe, creative environment at a reasonable cost. Our philosophy is built on the premise that children learn through play. Our curriculum provides the means to aid children in developing a sense of what they, their world, and their God are like in a stable yet varied environment.
Okay, hi, I'm here today with Maureen O'Brien. And Maureen has been coming here for how many years?
30 some odd years.
Wow. Okay.
It seems like yesterday.
Right. And you too have been doing a lot of different roles at St. Stephen's. I know you're a Sunday school teacher, you're on the evangelism committee, you're on the youth committee, you're on the Merry Marauders, you do special events like the Chinese New Year's. I'm sure I forgot a few. So how do you find time to do that?
Because I don't plan my time. I just do the first things first, and somehow or other the things at church usually find their way to the top of my list, and I guess that's it.
Okay.
I guess it's not the best way to plan your life, but maybe God's got a different plan for us, so I go with that.
And any other memorable moments?
Just over the years, of course, the mother-daughter dinners, the committees, the women's groups that prepared the food, the shepherd's pies, the entertainment, and the Fastnacht Follies, and getting everybody up there to be really funny. But, you know, we've had a lot of fun, and that's a very integral part of the church, having fun in the name of the Lord and bringing that into families. And the Chinese New Year's took off really well, and the Oktoberfest kind of followed through. Uwe and Alona are fantastic with preparing the food and their ideas, and they're really, you know, let's do it kind of people.
Well, we need people like you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Barbara Barkevich. I've been a member here at St. Stephen's for about 50 of our 100 years. At this moment, I am treasurer of the church. I also serve on various committees, which I find very fulfilling. The role of treasurer I find not only fulfilling but challenging, but it's God's work, and I enjoy being able to help out where I can.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Vicki Maxey. I'm currently the council president. I've been a member of St. Stephen's for over 20 years. We came to St. Stephen's from a church in Freeport, and this was the first congregation I felt that I was part of a family, and I still feel that way. I also serve on other committees and sing in the choir, altar guild, youth, and just enjoy doing everything.
Hi, my name is Jane Ebersparger. I too have been a member here at St. Stephen's for over 50 years. I am an assisting minister on some Sundays. I work on the altar guild, setting up the altar, and which I really enjoy. And I am also the treasurer for the St. Stephen's Nursery School, which I've been doing now for about 15 plus years.
And Jane, you've been on the anniversary committee. How is that? Has that been a challenging job?
Oh yes. Oh yes, trying to plan the monthly activities that we did for the celebration. It was just a lot of work. It's challenging, but it was enjoyable.
And what's the slogan? Is there a slogan for the anniversary?
The anniversary is many hands, God's work. Is that God's work, many hands?
I'm here today with Henry Brundle. Henry, hi. So how long have you been coming here?
Well, I was baptized here, and that was 88 years ago, so I've been coming here a long, long time.
So your parents came here as well?
Oh, sure.
So when did they join? Was that?
They were married in this church. In fact, one of my great-grandfathers was one of the founding members. Carl Rumpf was one of the founding members of this church.
I was looking at the 50th anniversary book where they had the history of the first 50 years at St. Stephen's, and I noticed that they listed the members on council, and you were one of those people on council.
I've been on the council so many times I can't remember.
What keeps you going? What makes you come back and do all those different things?
Well, first of all, I believe in God, in Jesus Christ. And secondly, the people here at St. Stephen's are great people. They follow and they believe in God, and that's very, very important to believe in God.
Okay. Have you noticed a lot of changes over the years?
Many changes, and it depends upon what you're talking about. Changes, I mean, I remember when this particular building was just the basement, and people used to say, "Oh, the church in the ground," and then we came along and put this second story out here, and Pastor Nelson built that lobby over there. During Ernie Frankie's term, we built the education building. So we've seen a lot of changes here.
Okay, and what have you seen that's constant here? Anything that's been the same?
The people are great. The people are great. The people are wonderful. They're warm, friendly, and outgoing. Try to make sure you're happy. And we're concerned about St. Stephen's. We have to be very thankful for we had the founding fathers and the ministers in the past, and Sunday school teachers and all that continued the great leadership of our forefathers.
Yeah, and thanks to you, Henry. Thanks for coming today. Thanks for all the stuff you do.
Don't thank me. I'm doing for God.
Project.
Okay, we go.
Wednesday,
What's your name?
Quiet, so
Tyler.
I'm really not available.
And where, do you go to church
Wednesday,
here?
Thursday, Friday,
Yes,
but
I do.
Tuesdays, yeah.
You know, this church has been here 100
Good,
years.
so she's like, yeah, totally. I can
Are you-
come in,
are you
workshop,
100 years
that's all
old?
we do.
Do you know anybody 100 years old?
So
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
My grandpa maybe, I never really remember.
she's gonna come with the post.
Since this church has been here 100 years, do you think it's going to last another 100 years?
If they create the automatic fixer, yes.
What's an automatic fixer?
So we now fix things automatically.
Oh, that's a good idea. Hey, we're here tonight at St. Stephen's. I'm here with Pastor Stephanie Pope. And Pastor, you've been here now for about 3 years, I think?
That's right.
Did you have lots of surprises in your first 3 years?
I think what was the biggest surprise for me was that it was a surprise. Because I'd been working for the church as a youth director for so long, for 10 years, and then had been given an internship because I had that experience that was mostly on my own. I kind of thought I knew what I was getting in for.
Right.
And yet it was just an entirely different feel to it, to have my own parish. I think some of that is to be the person that is thinking about the whole and the long term, and all of that kind of shapes how that happens, and to be the person that everyone turns to.
What are some of the highlights that you've had in planning for our celebration?
Having Pastor Frank back and having such a full day celebrating the first worship was wonderful, and people really turned out. The breakfast was lovely by the Naomi Circle, and I thought the renewing of the vows worked really well. And the affirmation of baptism was really fun, welcoming Marco and his family, Zenny and Jerry. But the kids' fair was just fantastic. We had over 70 volunteers, so 70 people working together to make that happen. People were really enthusiastic about it and energetic around that people invested in our parish and in making it happen. And it was just great to have so many people coming to St. Stephen's and having such a great time.
Right. You know, as you look around Hicksville, not many things have survived for 100 years, right? There are some buildings that have survived. I'm not sure there's any people who have survived 100 years in Hicksville. There might be. But St. Stephen's is here, and it looks a little different. It used to be a lower church, and we raised that to have the church upstairs now. But I was wondering, is there any things inside the church that might have survived 100 years that you know about?
Huh.
Okay.
The only thing I could say for sure is the parish record.
Okay. So that's still here.
Yeah. We that's in terms of church archives. The parish record is kept in our safe for safekeeping. So we have that through the 100 years.
For some years, the need of an English Lutheran church was felt among the German Lutherans and their children. From time to time, efforts to introduce English worship into the independent German Lutheran Church were made, but that without avail. When at last those who still loved the Lutheran faith and preferred their children to be reared therein, decided for themselves and addressed a letter to the missionary superintendent, Reverend Karl Zunzmeister of the Synod of New York, who, while canvassing for Lutherans in Mineola and Roslyn.
So I had found what I was searching for, the 1910 cornerstone, the 100-year-old bell, and the 100-year-old parish record. But I had found something more as I spoke to the people of St. Stephen's. I found what keeps them coming back week after week, year after year. The same thing that our founding fathers had. Something older than 100 years, something 2,000 years old. The love and the faith of those many hands and those many hearts for that one Lord of all.